All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dr. Emily Lin, and I am the Associate Dean of the Graduate College. And I am thrilled to welcome you to our 11th annual Rebel Grad Slam 3-minute thesis competition. The 3-minute thesis competition, or 3MT competition model, was developed at the University of Queensland in Australia in 2008. It spread to other universities in Australia and New Zealand in 2009 and 2010. By 2011, the 3MT competition phenomena had spread around the globe, and now more than 600 universities from more than 65 countries hold this competition. In 2014, UNLV held our first 3MT, the Rebel Grad Slam competition, and this year it is our 11th annual Research Rumble. The 3MT is a fantastic opportunity for students to learn how to convey who they are, what they study, why they study it, how they study it, and what they found or expect to find, and why it matters to an audience of folks who are mostly outside of their field. It is an opportunity to build public speaking and communication skills and to polish one's elevator speech describing what they study as graduate students. It's worth noting that our slammers come from all over campus and from a wide range of disciplines. Some are first-year students, some are in their final year, while some slammers are master's students, others are advanced doctoral candidates. It is a diverse pool of over 90 graduate students competing here this week. So today, we have a group of UNLV graduate students who have been randomly assigned to compete in this preliminary round. Each will present their research in 3 minutes or less using one slide and no props. We will introduce each student and then start the timer. If a student goes over 3 minutes, they will be eliminated, unfortunately, from the competition. Slammers are encouraged to pace themselves and use their 3 minutes without going over. It's really not easy, but it's what the 3MT is all about. So a reminder to slammers, please make sure to keep your microphone on mute and video off when other competitors are presenting. Only turn on your microphone and video when you are presenting. Please be sure to stay for the entire session, even after you've done your presentation. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat in between presenters. Please do not chat during anyone else's presentation since it may be really distracting. You may stand or sit while presenting, and you only have 2 minutes and 59 seconds and only one chance to compete. After I introduce you, our Zoom host will advance to your presentation slide and you may begin your presentation. Once you begin speaking, we will start the timer and you will not be able to restart your presentation unless something beyond your control occurs. You will be able to see the Zoom timer on your screen on the upper right-hand side. Please do not stop unless I stop you. And please do not worry, though, if you lose Wi-Fi or you get disconnected. Please just join back and we'll wait for a minute for you and then go on to the next presenter. If that happens, you can redo your presentation at the end. And please remember that you may not read your presentation or use any note cards on your screen or in front of you. Okay? And now let's turn our attention to the scoring for this Research Rumble. The judges will be assessing the competitors based on metrics which total 24 possible points in 4 major categories, and that include comprehension, content, engagement, and communication. Each judge will independently score each competitor. Judges will not penalize competitors for unanticipated disruptions that are beyond the slammer's control. At the end of the presentations, we will tally the judges' combined score for each Grad Slammer and announce the winners right here live tonight. The top 3 in this session will advance to the semifinals. I'd like to note that this round of the competition is happening live in Zoom and will be simultaneously aired live on the Graduate College YouTube channel. And to give you a sense of this year's competition, we have over 90 students who are competing in the preliminary rounds. Around 36 will move on to the semifinals, and only about 9 will advance in the finals, which will be held at 4 p.m. this Friday, November the 8th in the Greenspun Auditorium. So without further ado, let me introduce the judges, and then we can go on with our 3MT Research Rumble. We have a set of very distinguished judges in today's session. Judges, when I introduce you, would you please turn on your camera and just give the audience a wave? Okay, so tonight we have Director Raphael Organizian, who is our undergraduate research director, joining us. We also have another judge, Assistant Professor Ashley Blackwell from psychology. Another distinguished judge is our postdoc, Melissa Stoffers, who is from the Early Childhood and Multilingual and Special Education from the College of Education joining us. We have Alde Picard, who is also joining us as a judge from the School of Life Sciences from the College of Sciences. Another judge joining us is Keiyan Wu, who is from the Marketing International Business Department from the Lee Business School. And lastly, we have Jay Morgenstern, who is in the clinical sciences from our School of Dental Medicine. So welcome and thank you for serving on our panel of distinguished judges today. We really, really appreciate you lending your time and expertise. So are we ready to begin our presentations and our competitions today? So without further ado, let's see, we have our first competitor, who is Ali Balooch, who is in the Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Sciences. And Ali will be presenting on the video games, your new math teacher. And Ali, you can begin in 3, 2, 1.
It is no secret that math is an unpopular subject. I've seen many undergrad students go from delay their math classes to the last year because of how much they dread the idea of taking a math class. Well, why is this? Why is math so universally distressing to the point that avoiding it is the societal norm? Some people blame it on it being taught through memorization rather than intuition. Many students see it as an unapproachable, cold set of rules imposed upon them. The way that math is currently taught, it just doesn't work for everyone. Which leads us to the research question. How can math be made more accessible to a general population? Our answer is by teaching math through conceptually rich, culturally relevant video games. The people behind this project are students and faculty from UNLV and CSN, and we are grateful to be funded by the NSF for this as well. But enough about the exposition. Let's look at the games. So the first game, Math Trainer, teaches you the fundamental language of math by going through order of operations, factoring, and exponent laws. The second game, Function Hike, has students use functions to describe the landscape of Las Vegas. The third game, Southwest Sustainability Solutions, talks about exponential and logarithmic functions. And the players would use these functions to model bacterial growth in Lake Mead, as well as radioactive decay for nuclear tests that happened at the Nevada security site, at the Nevada test site. The fourth game, Portal Odyssey, has students use systems of equations to create portals and travel across the universe to find cultural artifacts. In the last game, Pathfinder has students learn about more advanced functions. With this knowledge, they can guide drones to help sustain the environment, whether that's by putting out forest fires or removing chemical spills. We very recently finished making the first versions for all 5 of these games, and we're having instructors implement them into their Canvas courses right now. Around the end of the semester, we will get feedback from these instructors and their students to statistically see just how potent the games are. I'll close by saying that the vision we've had while making these games is that we want all students, regardless of backgrounds, to feel represented and included. Because, whether we like it or not, math is around all of us, even here in Las Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ali. And at this time, we'll give the judges a minute to rate the presenters. So judges, please remember to hit submit once you've completed your scoring. Thank you. All right, we are now ready to move on to our next presenter, and it is Anson Paul. Anson is from the Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering degree. Anson is going to present on a method for obtaining the kinematics of indoor modular surgical robots for minimally invasive surgery. And when you're ready, in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. So my name is Anson Paul, and I'm currently doing my PhD in mechanical engineering, focusing on surgical robotics. So when it comes to the surgical robotics world, the recent advancement that occurred in the surgical robotics is the development of modular surgical robotic cards. So the advancement help to do the multi-quadrant surgeries more efficiently compared to normal uh, simple surgeries and all. So the problem that comes that along with the modular surgical robots is the registration of the robots. So when you have like 4 robots or 3 robots, so how will you calibrate it with respect to any particular reference? So whenever it comes to the surgical robotic, the reference that will be taken will be considered as the camera card. So we can see as per in the image given below. So the robotic arm card C, that will be the camera card. And with respect to that, the robotic arm card 1 and robotic arm card 2, that will be taken as a reference. So when you obtain, when you compare the robotic surgery, all that matters to the surgeon is the use of surgical instrument. So the exact mapping of surgeon hand with the surgical instrument is very essential to perform complicated surgeries. So the current existing problem is to get the kinematics of the robotic cards when it is placed in a indoor environment like a OT. So there won't be much sensors available to be able to give the input, like when you rotate your card, how much the angle is rotated. So that will be like very difficult to obtain. So for that, we are proposing a new method, a one simple method. So that consisting of like one laser line mechanism. So as you can see in the figure below, like all the cards will be equipped with a laser line and it will be attached with a frame. So whenever you are rotating the cards, the laser line attached to it will also be rotated. And when you can have the camera card as the reference line, you can always rotate the laser line back and you can adjust it, make it parallel to the camera card. So whenever you are rotating the laser line back to the parallel to camera card, that angle that you rotated, that can be obtained using an encoder that is given in the mechanism. So by using getting that encoder value, you will be able to sense like how much angle your card is oriented. And with respect to that, you can use the robotic like kinematics, forward kinematics, and a homogeneous transformation matrices to obtain the end effector frame. So this is the proposed method. The design is given below. So it is consisting of like encoder, a laser module, and like some 3D printed parts and normal spark gives. So this is the mechanism and the design given. So these are the components that we are using for the mechanisms. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Anson. And at this time, I will ask the judges to do their ratings and then hit the submit button. Thank you. Just a reminder to our judges, the submit button's at the very end of the form, but you do need to hit the button next to advance to the next speaker. So just so that you know. Okay. All right. I think we are then ready to advance to our next presenter, and it's Dhritiman Banerjee, and Dhritiman is from the philosophy or Doctor of Philosophy in Political Science, and the presentation is, does economic strength increase the chances of war? And so whenever you are ready, please go ahead. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I am Dhritiman Banerjee. My presentation starts by asking a question similar to one of the legendary dialogues of Hamlet. To engage or not to engage in war, that is the question. Now, if we think about the idea of war, we will think war is a costly exercise. You need manpower. You need weapons. And how do you get it? You get it by either buying them or hiring them through money. Thus, in my presentation, I put a variable called growth to measure economic strength. And then I ask, does increasing economic growth lead my graph, number of wars, to increase? But now I ask a question. And the question is very simple. Does automatic being rich mean fighting wars? Because as the great Prussian general who defeated Napoleon, Karl von Clausewitz, put it, war is the continuation of politics by other means and essentially an exercise to bend the enemy to our will. Thus, war may just not mean what we understand by the idea of war. It may be something very different. Now, if I take the traditional idea of war, I have two exceptions to the idea that more money means war. The exceptions are Switzerland, which is very rich, but generally doesn't fight wars, and Pakistan, which infamously follows don't love thy neighbor policies with India, but is not very economically strong. So, why do they fight wars? My idea is they fight wars because of an anarchical international system which has no way to regulate the states and their ambitions. States fight wars because of the threats they face, the challenges they face. And they believe war is a way to counter those challenges. Wars are fought for survival. And while states fight better wars if they're economically strong, economic strength may not increase wars, but the anarchical nature of the system and more rivalries between states akin to Cold War more rivalries between the states may increase the chances of war. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dhritiman. And at this time, I will ask the judges to please enter their scores. Thank you. Okay, and our next slammer is Oluwatobi Adeniji, and the Oluwatobi is from the Doctor of Medical Physics program, and the presentation is entitled Determination of Tissue Equivalency of Watermelon, Pineapple, and Pawpaw Phantom in Radiotherapy Clinic. And whenever you're ready, in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Toby. I'm a Doctor of Medical Physics student. The topic is tissue equivalency of watermelon, pineapple, pawpaw in radiotherapy clinic. We all know that cancer has been something rampant over the years. And World Health Organization predicted that 77% increase in cancer cases is expected in 2050, with significant portion resulting in secondary cancer. There are different ways of treating cancer, which are chemotherapy, surgery, immunotherapy, radiation. Radiation is known to be the causes of cancer, and also it can be used to treat cancer. When the physics is not gotten right, instead of the cancer to be cured, it can lead to secondary cancer, which is just the cancer within the other organs that is close to the one that's been previously treated. In radiotherapy clinic, patients are not just placed inside the machine, they are being simulated using tissue equivalent material to know how the radiation will be distributed in the target organ. Traditionally, the phantom we use is water, but does water really mimic these organs? No. There are also a lot of things apart from water. They use water because 80 to 90% of water of human tissue are composed of water. That is why I think of like which tissue can we use that will have water equivalent and other compounds like fiber, fat, ash that can easily represent human organ. So that is why I'm making use of water phantom, the fruit phantom, which are pineapple, pawpaw, and watermelon. This, for it to be water equivalent, it must have effective atomic number, electron density, mass density, and so on. So this is my setup. You can see it here. I used the fruit as the phantom. I irradiated it, and I compare my values with the theoretical values. And I was able to get a very close substitute to this water. Instead of using water, we can now use fruit that will have not only water, the fiber, the fat, the ash in it that can easily use to mimic these organs. So for my experiment, it was noted that watermelon can be used as a substitute for breast tissue, while pineapple and pawpaw also show some closest to other organs also. So there are many other ongoing research in this topic, which I've not concluded. So that's my topic, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toby. And at this time, I invite the judges to please do the scoring for Toby. Thanks. Okay, and our last slammer for this evening is April Contreras, and April is from the Doctor of Philosophy Neuroscience program. The presentation is entitled Reaching New Heights, Novel Non-Cannabis Treatments for Refractory Epilepsy in Infants and Children. And whenever you're ready, April, in 3, 2, 1.
Picture yourself at the base of a huge mountain. The climb ahead looks daunting, and you hear massive avalanches crashing in the distance. And as you climb, you encounter dangerous terrain, and you realize that you're unprepared. You must return to the base of the mountain and change your strategy. You need new tools and a new plan to make it to the top of the mountain and back. Despite first impressions, I don't study mountains or how to climb them. I study the brain. And the brain is made up of hundreds of thousands of cells that activate every time we move or think. And most of the time, these cells activate the way they're meant to. But in cases when too many cells activate suddenly and all at once, this can lead to a condition called epilepsy, which is characterized by persistent, intense seizures. And a seizure is a lot like an avalanche in the brain. It's a powerful surge of snow or activity so powerful that it can sweep you off a mountain or bury you. And in many cases, especially in children, these avalanches can be deadly. A huge problem in treating avalanches or seizures in children is that our current treatments or tools are outdated and harmful for the developing brain. Additionally, these tools only stop avalanches in about 1/3 of patients. So in my thesis, I propose we use a new strategy or tool, a molecule called cannabidiol, which we took from a simple seed that you might find in your kitchen, the caraway or fennel seed. And so in the lab, to see if this new molecule could change seizures, I pre-treated mice with a chemical called kinematics acid to start avalanches in the brain, which you can see as the spikes in the top of number 1. And then I found that if I pre-treated mice with these new molecules before giving them kinematics acid, the size of these spikes shown at the bottom of number 1 was decreased. Additionally, in number 2, shown in the blue box, the time until the first seizure happened was increased in the mice that were pre-treated with this new molecule. And that was so exciting, but what I didn't expect to see was that the mice pre-treated with the new molecule shown in blue largely survived compared to the mice treated with placebo alone. And so this novel tool shows promise to stop seizures or avalanches in children. And it gives us hope to modify and develop new techniques so that we can scale new mountains and reach new heights as we develop new treatments for epilepsy syndromes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. And thank you all so much for joining us for the preliminary round. Special thanks to the Grad Academy team, Melissa and her team, who have made this 3MT event possible. Now, while the judges are doing the scoring for April, please, all of you, please stay tuned and remain right here because we're going to have our team tally the results from today's session, and we will announce the winners live in just a few minutes. So just a reminder that while only the top 3 winners of this round will progress to the semifinals, all the competitors will receive a Rebel Grad Slam t-shirt. Slammers, you can get your t-shirts during the Rebel Grad Slam final reception this Friday. And just so that you know, some of the awards for tonight's preliminary rounds, the first place winner will receive $300 and in scholarship funds. The second place winner for tonight will receive $200, while the third place winner will receive $100. So we are going to let our team tally the scores and our judges finish off the tallying and the rating of all our competitors. And I'll just be right back in a few minutes. Please stay tuned. Thanks. Okay, we've kept you in suspense long enough. So are you ready? Here are the winners of this preliminary session and who will be moving on to the semifinals. So in third place, we have, drumroll, Dhritiman Banerjee. Congratulations, your third place finisher tonight. And second place finisher for tonight was Ali Balooch. Congratulations. And finally, our first place finisher for tonight was April Contreras. Congratulations to you all. And congratulations to all our slammers today. And thank you also to our distinguished judges. Without you, this event would not be possible. Thank you again all for your participation, everyone. And please join us for the semifinal rounds on Thursday, November the 7th at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1:30 p.m. in the Greenspun Auditorium. And also the finals on Friday, November the 8th at 4 p.m. in the Greenspun Auditorium. Lastly, we will have your grad Rebel Slam t-shirt available in the final receptions at 5 o'clock in the Greenspan auditorium lobby. And we welcome your RSVP to the finals event with the link that will be posted, or it's already posted. Yes, posted. So please RSVP for the final round and the receptions. And please then all enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you so much for your participation. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.